There's something powerful about being called, about being chosen, that many people don't fully understand. When you're set apart for a purpose greater than yourself, it carries a weight most will never have to bear. The ones chosen for something higher walk a different road, and because of that, they often walk it alone. When God calls you, He doesn't lead you down a comfortable or easy path. He doesn't place you in the middle of the crowd where you can blend in and feel secure. He pulls you out. He sets you apart. And that separation can feel like isolation. It can feel like rejection, like loneliness, like you do not belong anywhere. But hear this, you were never meant to belong where you were called to lead. The burden of being chosen is heavy. It means you see things differently. It means you hear what others do not. It means the vision inside you, the fire burning in your spirit, will set you on a course others cannot understand. You will try to explain it, and they will look at you like you are speaking another language. You will try to bring them with you, but they will not want to go. And that is where the pain begins. Being chosen does not just separate you from the world. It often separates you from the people you love. Some of you know exactly what that feels like. You have had moments where you felt completely alone, wondering why no one understands you. You have sat in rooms full of people and still felt like an outsider. You have been surrounded by friends and family and still felt a deep emptiness inside because something in you knows you are meant for more. But let me tell you this, that feeling is not a mistake. That loneliness is not an accident. It is a sign that God is doing something in you that He is not doing in everyone else. When you are chosen, you cannot live like everyone else. You cannot think like everyone else. You cannot move like everyone else. That is why you do not fit in. That is why you struggle to relate. It is not because there is something wrong with you. It is because there is something different about you. God has placed something in you that requires separation. Because what He is building in you demands focus. It demands discipline. It demands obedience. And it demands that you let go of the need to be understood. Some of the greatest men and women of God experienced isolation before elevation. Look at Moses. Raised in Pharaoh's house, but never truly one of them. Called to lead his people, but rejected by them at first. Look at Joseph. Given a dream, but sold by his own brothers. Look at David. Anointed as king, but sent back to the fields again and again. The pattern is clear. Before the chosen can walk in their purpose, they must endure the loneliness of being set apart. And that loneliness breaks you. It humbles you. It brings you to your knees, but that breaking is necessary because when God prepares you, He strips away everything that cannot go with you. The relationships that were only meant for a season, the habits that no longer serve your purpose, the distractions that keep you from hearing His voice. And sometimes the only way He can do that is by pulling you away from everything and everyone you thought you needed. I know it is hard. I know there are nights when you wonder why God would place such a burden on your shoulders. I know there are moments when you want to give up, when you question whether you are strong enough for this. But I'm here to tell you that you are. You were built for this. You were chosen for this. And if God called you to it, He will give you the strength to carry it. Loneliness is not the end of your story. It is the beginning. It is the refining fire that purifies your purpose. It is the place where God speaks the clearest. It is the preparation ground for something greater than you can imagine. So do not fight it. Do not resist it. Embrace it. Because when the time comes, when God says you are ready to walk in the fullness of your calling, you will look back and see that what felt like loneliness was never loneliness at all. It was God walking with you. It was God shaping you. It was God preparing you, so that when He finally sends you out, you will be ready. Rejection cuts deep. It makes you question yourself. It makes you wonder if you are good enough, if you are worthy, if you are truly meant for the calling burning inside you. You step out in faith, believing others will see what God placed in you, believing they will support you, believing they will stand beside you. But instead they walk away. They turn their backs. They dismiss you. And that pain does not just touch your heart, it shakes your soul. But hear me, rejection is not punishment. It is preparation. It is not God saying you are not enough. It is God saying you are being set apart. We often take rejection to heart, seeing it as proof that we have failed, that we are not wanted, that we are somehow unworthy. But when God allows rejection in your life, it is not meant to break you. It is meant to redirect you. It is His way of protecting you from settling for something that falls short of the purpose He placed on your life. Think about Joseph. His own brothers turned against him, threw him into a pit, and sold him into slavery. He had dreams, powerful visions of what God intended for him, but before he could step into that destiny, he had to walk through the fire of rejection. If his brothers had embraced him, he might have stayed where he was. If they had supported him, he would not have been forced down the road that led him to Egypt, to the palace, to the very place God had already prepared. Sometimes the people you expect to support you will be the ones who distance themselves. They will not understand your vision. They will not recognize what you carry. You will feel the urge to shrink yourself, to lower your voice, to tone down your calling just to feel accepted. But God did not choose you to blend in. He called you to stand apart. He called you to rise, to lead, to take your place where few are willing to stand. This is why rejection is not something to dread, but something to understand. When it comes, do not chase after those who fail to see your worth. Do not dwell on the doors that have shut. If God allowed something to end, it is because something greater is on its way. You may not see it in the moment. It may not make sense while it is happening. But if you continue to trust, if you keep moving forward with faith, you will look back and realize that every rejection was actually part of the blessing. Every closed door was guiding you toward the right one. Some of you are still carrying the weight of rejection. You are still thinking about those who walked away. You are still hearing the words they spoke. You are still letting their lack of belief define who you are. But your value is not determined by those who reject you. Your calling does not disappear just because others could not see it. If God called you, that is all the confirmation you need. If He chose you, no rejection can override His plan. You must learn to look at rejection with new eyes. It is not a loss. It is a sign. God is moving in your life. He is closing the doors that no longer serve your purpose. He is removing the people who cannot go where He is taking you. He is making room for the right voices, the right timing, the right season. Even Jesus experienced rejection. He was mocked, ridiculed, and abandoned by the very people He came to help. He was betrayed by those closest to Him. Yet He never allowed that rejection to derail His purpose. So if even Jesus had to endure being cast aside, why should we expect to be embraced without resistance? The truth is, the greater the calling, the deeper the rejection. The higher the purpose, the more narrow and lonely the path. But let this truth settle in your heart. Rejection is not where your story ends. It is a necessary step in your preparation. It is molding you. It is strengthening you. It is building the kind of character that can carry the weight of your calling. And when you finally step into all that God has prepared for you, you will see that nothing was wasted. Every painful moment had a purpose. Every no was part of His design. So the next time rejection comes, do not bow your head. Do not beg for a place in rooms you were never meant to stay in. Lift your head. Stand with confidence. Remember, you were not created to fit in. You were chosen to stand out. And God is using every single rejection to push you closer to the place where your purpose and His promise meet. There will come a moment in your life when you realize that before God lifts you up, He first allows you to be broken. Not the kind of breaking that destroys you, but the kind that strips away everything that cannot follow you into your next season. It is the breaking that purifies, that humbles, that prepares. Because God never promotes without first preparing, and preparation always comes with pain. Many believe being chosen means ease, a life free of struggle. But when you study the lives of those God used, you see the pattern. Before elevation comes isolation. Before breakthrough comes heartbreak. Before the crown comes the crushing. And in that crushing, you will feel like everything is falling apart. The things you thought were stable will be shaken. You will question why God is allowing so much pain when all you have tried to do is follow Him. But that is the cost of being chosen. It means you are called to endure what others avoid, because you are being prepared for what others are not equipped to carry. When God places a high calling on your life, He will not allow you to walk into it unprepared. He cannot allow pride, bitterness, unforgiveness, or unhealthy dependence on others to go unchecked. That is why He permits the breaking. It is not because He is harsh. It is because what He has planned for you is too significant to be carried by the version of you that exists right now. Think of David. He was anointed while still young, chosen to be king, yet before he ever wore a crown, he had to flee for his life. He hid in caves. He was betrayed by the very people he once protected. God had already chosen him, but the readiness had not yet come. The anointing was there, but the process still had to unfold, and that process was full of pain. Some of you are in that process now. You are in the middle of the breaking, and you do not understand what is happening. You are watching doors close. You are seeing relationships fall apart. The very things you once prayed for now seem to be slipping out of reach. You are asking God, why this? Why now? Why you? And the answer is that He is shaping you into who you were always meant to be. Gold must pass through fire. Diamonds are formed under intense pressure. Oil is released only when the olive is crushed. And in the same way, what God has planted in you can only be revealed through the breaking. The dreams He gave you, the purpose He placed in your spirit, the strength He knows is in you, none of it can emerge while you remain comfortable. It happens when you are brought to your knees, when everything else fades and all you have left is Him, when every earthly support is gone and His word is the only thing you can cling to. You may not see it clearly right now, but one day you will look back with gratitude for the breaking. One day you will recognize that every tear, every heartbreak, every loss was never working against you. It was working for you. You will understand that what felt like rejection was really protection. What looked like suffering was really preparation. What seemed like an ending was actually the beginning of a transformation. So do not resist the process. Do not rush the healing. Allow God to do what He must. Let Him peel away the things that no longer serve you. Let Him separate you from the distractions and attachments that are holding you back from your true calling. Yes, it will hurt. Yes, it may feel unfair, but once the process is complete, you will be stronger. You will be wiser. You will be steady. And when it is finally time for your elevation, you will be ready. When God sets someone apart, it is not always loud or obvious. There are no grand announcements or signs that make everyone stop and take notice. More often, it happens in a quiet and deeply personal way. He simply makes you different. For a long time, even you may not understand why. You just feel it. You do not quite fit. You are surrounded by others, but still feel as though you are walking a path all your own. You see opportunities, but something deep inside tells you they are not meant for you. You form connections, but they fade or fall away. And eventually you begin to ask why. Why do you feel like you do not belong? Why is your journey so unlike everyone else's? The answer is that you were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to fit where you do not belong. You were not created to mirror the world because the calling on your life is unlike anything around you. God has set you apart for a purpose that reaches far beyond what you can see right now. That kind of calling requires a different journey, a journey that not everyone will understand. There is a weight that comes with being chosen. There is a kind of loneliness that often surrounds purpose. And if you are not careful, you will start to resent what makes you special. You will begin to see your difference as a burden instead of a blessing. You will wonder if something is wrong with you simply because you cannot think like others, move like others, or settle for what others accept. But I want you to know that being different is not a curse. It is confirmation that God's hand is on your life. It is proof that He is drawing you higher, preparing you for something far greater, something that requires you to be set apart. And this preparation is not without cost. It will require you to let go of some people along the way. It will bring you into seasons where you feel completely alone, misunderstood by everyone around you. It will ask you to walk through doors with no one beside you, trusting that the one who led you there will carry you through. It will ask you to make decisions that others cannot comprehend, decisions rooted in faith, decisions that require sacrifice. Consider Moses, raised in Pharaoh's palace, surrounded by luxury, power, and influence. Yet deep within, he knew he did not belong. He could have stayed. He could have lived a life of comfort and ease, but he was called to something greater. And that calling led him into the wilderness. It pulled him into a place of isolation, into a season where he had nothing to rely on but God alone. In that space, in that stillness, in that separation, something began to take shape. Some of you are in that wilderness right now. You feel like you are walking alone, like everything familiar has been stripped away. And it is tempting to believe that you must have missed something, that maybe you took a wrong turn. But hear this clearly. This is not punishment, this is preparation. God is not keeping you apart to harm you. He is setting you apart to prepare you. He is teaching you how to trust Him when the way is unclear, how to lean on Him when nothing else makes sense, how to walk by faith even when every step feels uncertain. And when the moment comes, when He finally reveals what He has been getting you ready for, you will look back and understand. You will see that every lonely season, every hard decision, every moment where you felt like you did not belong, it was all necessary. You will realize that He never left you. He never turned His face away. He was shaping you the whole time, making sure that when it was time to step into your purpose, you would be ready. There is something about being chosen that puts a mark on your life. The moment God calls you, the moment He places purpose inside you, the battle begins. And for some, that battle started early. Some of you have been fighting for as long as you can remember. You have had to fight for your peace, your identity, your very place in this world. It is not that you sought out the conflict. The conflict came for you. You wonder why your life feels like a battlefield, while others seem to walk through life with ease. You wonder why you have had to endure heartbreak, betrayal, rejection, and hardship. And if you are honest, sometimes it feels like too much. But listen carefully. The battle is not a sign that God has forgotten you. It is evidence that there is something inside you that threatens the enemy. The enemy does not waste his time on those who have no future. He targets the ones who carry purpose. He comes after the ones who have been set apart for something greater. That is why the pressure has been so relentless. That is why the attacks have come from every direction. Because even when you cannot see it, the enemy sees what is in you. He sees the calling. He sees the authority. He sees the anointing. Think of Joseph. God gave him a dream, a vision of the future. But before he ever saw that dream come to life, he was thrown into a pit. He was betrayed by his brothers. He was sold into slavery. He was falsely accused. He was thrown into prison. From the outside, it looked like everything was falling apart. But in truth, everything was falling into place. Every setback, every betrayal, every painful moment was preparing him for what God had already planned. Some of you are in that same place right now. You are looking at your life and nothing makes sense. You are surrounded by struggle and feel like you are trapped in the pit. But what you cannot see is what God is doing behind the scenes. Every battle has been training. Every hardship has been preparation. Every blow that was meant to break you has been building you. God does not hand great responsibility to those who are not prepared. He does not call without first testing. So the struggle is not there to destroy you. It is there to equip you. The fight is not meant to defeat you. It is meant to develop you. Because if you are going to carry the weight of the calling on your life, you need the strength to stand firm. You need the wisdom to recognize the right doors. You need the resilience to keep going when everything inside you wants to give up. That is why the enemy has fought you so hard. That is why the pressure has felt unbearable. Because he knows that once you step into your true identity, once you embrace the authority and power God has placed inside of you, there is nothing he can do to stop you. He can attack, but he cannot overcome. He can distract, but he cannot cancel what God has already set in motion. So do not let the battle make you bitter. Do not let the wounds make you doubt who you are. Every fight you have faced is confirmation that you are walking in purpose. Every trial is proof that you are not ordinary. You have been chosen. You have been set apart. The hand of God is on your life. And when you come through this season, because you will come through, you will be stronger, you will be wiser, you will be ready for every promise He has spoken over you. So keep standing, keep believing, keep fighting. When God places a calling on your life, He does more than prepare the path ahead of you. He prepares you for the path itself. And that kind of preparation is not always gentle, not always clear, and not often what you would choose. It is not wrapped in comfort or ease. It stretches you. It tests you. It takes you through places you never expected to walk. Because being chosen does not mean everything will come together without effort. It does not mean doors will fly open without resistance, or that people will always understand you, support you, or celebrate what is on your life. In fact, the reality is often quite the opposite. Being chosen sometimes means walking in silence when no one else seems to see what you carry. It means standing firm when people around you question your decisions and doubt your vision. It means holding on when all you feel is the tension between what God promised and what your reality looks like. Sometimes it means being misunderstood by the very people you thought would believe in you. Sometimes it means facing rejection from those you love most. It means enduring battles you never anticipated and persevering through storms that seem to come out of nowhere. In those moments, it becomes easy to question everything. You may start to wonder if the calling was real. You may start to doubt whether God actually chose you. You may ask yourself why the road is so rough, why doors are shut, why the ones you trusted are silent or gone, and why the weight feels heavier the more faithful you try to be. Your heart may whisper, if I were really chosen, would it be this hard? Would the people around me not see my heart and stand with me? Would the way not be clearer, the pain not be lighter, the waiting not be shorter? But here is the truth that you must hold on to. The struggle is not a sign that you are off course. It is the proof that you are being shaped. The pressure is not punishment, it is preparation. The breaking is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your becoming. Think of David, a young shepherd boy left in the fields, forgotten by his own family. When the prophet came to anoint the next king, David was not even considered. Yet God had chosen him. He was pulled from the field and anointed, confirmed, set apart. But after that moment, life did not suddenly become easier. It became more difficult. The anointing was real, but so was the process. David had to run for his life. He had to live in hiding. He was hunted, betrayed, misunderstood. He faced enemies and fought giants, all while carrying a promise from God that he had not yet seen fulfilled. Every trial, every season of loneliness, every painful step was forming in him the character, strength, and wisdom he would need to lead a nation. And some of you are there now. You are walking through that wilderness season. You feel invisible, passed over, weighed down by burdens you never thought you would carry. You have stayed faithful. You have obeyed even when it was hard. You have prayed, hoped, waited, and still the doors remain shut. Still the path remains uncertain. Still the breakthrough feels just out of reach. You are tired. You are worn. You are questioning whether you have the strength to keep going. But let me speak this over you. Just because you have not seen the promise come to pass does not mean God has changed his mind. Just because the path is difficult does not mean you are lost. The wilderness is not the place of abandonment. It is the place of preparation. God is not punishing you. He is preparing you. He is building something deeper in you than what anyone else can see. In the quiet, he is growing your roots. In the hidden place, he is refining your character. When no one else is around, when no one is clapping for you, when no one is validating your journey, God is doing the work that matters most. He is teaching you to rely on his voice above all others. He is teaching you to trust him not just for what he gives, but for who he is. Because when the time comes for you to step into what he has planned, you will not be fragile. You will be unshakable. You will not need applause. You will walk in authority. You will not move in fear. You will stand in confidence, knowing that what you carry is not man-given and therefore cannot be man-taken. but you must be willing to go through the process. And the truth is, not everyone will understand this process. Some people will walk away. Some will misread your silence, your separation, your struggle. They will doubt your calling. They will question your choices. But do not let their misunderstanding make you forget what God already confirmed. Do not let their absence convince you that you are not enough. If people leave, release them. If doors close, accept that they were never meant to open. If the road is harder than you expected, remember that what God is building in you is far greater than what you imagined. The chosen will always face the fiercest battles. They will always carry the heaviest weight. But they will also walk in the deepest power. They will move with a boldness that only comes through fire. They will carry an authority that only comes through testing. And when you reach the other side, when God says the time is now, nothing will be able to stop what He has ordained. The struggles will make sense. The waiting will feel worth it. The pain will become power. The fire will have forged something unshakable in you. So do not grow weary in the process. Do not allow disappointment to take root. Do not let temporary setbacks make you doubt an eternal promise. Keep walking. Keep trusting. Keep believing. What God has spoken over your life will not return void. And when He brings you into the fullness of it, when the preparation has done its work, when your spirit is steady and your heart is pure, you will step into what He has promised with clarity, with strength, with peace. Stay faithful. Stay strong. Your time is not just coming, it is already unfolding.